YouTube, Facebook, big double at the same time. That's dope. That's dope. What's up, guys? What's up? We back, baby. We back. I'm clapping a little bit. I'm clapping. I'm happy. I'm happy. All right. Wow, I sound annoying. Wow, I sound annoying. Nonetheless. Yeah, that's how I'm going to start off. That's how I'm going to start off. I can hear myself in the calf, and wow, I sound annoying. I don't know. Give me the damn death charts. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Load. Load. 29 seconds. Why? Why did I play this? I didn't. Well, it's not my fault. And this is, in fact, Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, guys. To, yes, another semester here at Keystone College, guys. And welcome back to yet another season of What Else here on Wkcv Sports Talks, guys. It is JT checking in with you once again, man. And back live on Facebook, on YouTube. And I can hear myself in the cafeteria, and man, do I sound like that? Do I really sound like that? I sound annoying, man. I can't even lie. Nonetheless, as guys, so a lot has happened. In case you haven't really realized, Clemson absolutely ran over Alabama in what was probably, honestly, in my opinion, if I'm right, it was probably the biggest was probably the biggest shocker. Or more or less, they actually won by one of the biggest margins when, when Saban is taken over. So, honestly, Clemson and Trevor Lawrence, to think that Trevor Lawrence, I believe he's a sophomore, if I'm right. He's either a freshman or a sophomore. To think the kid's a freshman and / sophomore, and he just dropped 44 on Alabama. So, yeah, to put that in perspective, in other words, it's good, guys. Nonetheless, and guys, we're on the AFC Championship already AFC and NFC Championship for the NFL. And guys, you know what? Why not? Let's kick it off. No pun intended. Let's kick it off with that. Give you guys my picks, my intake on the games coming up. If you guys don't know the matchups, it's going to be New England against Kansas City, and it's also going to be Los Angeles against New Orleans. Now, unfortunately, Pittsburgh is not going to be in it. Baltimore is not going to be in it. A lot of teams, honestly, with the way the AFC honestly wrapped up this year, honestly, it was hard to tell because, I mean, Pittsburgh had to rely on Cleveland, which obviously was a mistake on a lot of people's ends, and I'm one of them. Relying on Cleveland, yeah, never do that. Guys, let me put it to you like this. If you're a playoff team, or if your team is in contention to make a playoff and you're the team that's ahead and the team that you're facing or the team that's pretty much right behind you and they have to face Cleveland, and don't worry. Or you have to face Cleveland and they don't worry. You locked up that one spot. Cleveland has lost all clutch. Trust me. Anyway, next thing up. Let's go ahead, though. I'm actually kind of glad because I did not want to face Patrick Mahomes on the road in Kansas City. Kansas City, as of late, they are, I believe, 7-1 at home and New England. So we'll start off with the New England-Kansas City game. It's going to be the late game. It's going to be the 6:40 game. And New England is, I believe, 3-5 on the road, which says a lot. It really does. It says a lot in terms of New England because they're an amazing home team. But when it comes down to going on the road, they're, again, not the best of teams. Now, this is what I look at. Obviously, yes, these two faced off. All right, 3 matches that you will normally see on a regular basis for the AFC is usually going to be New England against Kansas City, Kansas City against Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh against New England. It's usually a matchup that you'll see around the AFC. Now, obviously, New England and Kansas City, they face back in October And it was a 43-40 game. I'm looking at that game, and I'm going to say it like this. There were two things that I think saved Brady. The first thing was that the fact of the matter that it was in Foxborough. The second, honestly, Andy Reid has struggled, and he has struggled mightily against New England. However, and he's usually been a first-round exit. You got to remember that too. However, he actually had the bye week, and he actually turns around on, how can I put it? He turns around now. Andy Reid, he actually has a phenom of a quarterback. I mean, 50 touchdowns, 5,000 in passing yards. I mean, unbelievable. Well, so really, and the defense that he's presented with has not changed from what I know. The defense has not changed. I mean, Justin Houston, and he's still there. Eric Berry's back in full health. I mean, you got Kendall Fuller, you got Steve Nelson, in Ron Parker, he's still around. So, I mean, really, you got a lot of guys that haven't really left. I mean, Tyreek Hill's still there. I mean, even Travis Kelce, who have been through the struggles of it. So, really, the question that I guess you can ask is who, how can I put it? Who do you trust on that offense? Or do you trust Andy Reid's play calling, I should say, in order to get you to the next round, in order to get you to the Super Bowl? Nonetheless. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that I think that, and it's also a case of, like, Brady hasn't really been, Brady's been playing decent, but he hasn't really been, playing at Brady level. I mean, he passed 4,300 yards, or 4,355 yards to be exact. So about 4,400 yards, yeah. So, I mean, and it's hard to say, man, because, I mean, for Brady, that's bad. Because this is a guy who's averaging, like, what? 4,500, a little bit more than 4,500, close to 5,000 yards in a season, usually passing about 35 touchdowns. This year he tossed, like, 29. And really, and usually the run game has been, it's not bad, but it's not good for New England. So it's like, it's in the middle. Well, like, New England will never be up at the top in terms of rushing. I mean, perfect example, Sony Michel. The guy, 209 carries, he's 931 yards, 4.45 average for you, and 6 touchdowns. Again, New England is not known for their running. Let's be real, okay? And for a while, Kansas City was too. But then Kareem Hunt had a little bit of an issue, and he got released. But Damian Williams came in, 50 yards, 256 yards, 5.2 yards, or 5.12 yards to carry, 4 touchdowns. Again, that's not that bad when you just come in and you're replacing someone like Tyreek Hill. Well, that's not bad considering who you're replacing. Or not Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt. My bad on that. So, and the real question is, who do you pick in this game? Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and, because this is going to be my question throughout the entire game. My question is going to be, who defends Tyreek Hill and who defends Sammy Watkins, because it's 2 speed guys. And like, my question is also, who defends Travis Kelce, because obviously you're going to have to throw a linebacker in there. I mean, you're probably going to have to throw who? Eldon and Robbins, Dante Hightower maybe. I mean, if you're going to go man-to-man, you're going to have to trust Jason McCourty and Stephen Gilmore, or to go one-on-one with both Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins, who, in my opinion, again, 2 of probably the fastest guys in the NFL. Honestly, I don't really think that they can match it. I mean, and then you ask the same thing, who's going to be defending, like, Gronk? I mean, personally, this is me. I think that Justin Houston, if Justin Houston is, assigned with the task of facing Gronk, I think that definitely can be, a big possibility. Even if they turn around and they bring, if they decide, hey, we're going to go ahead, we're going to bring down Sorensen to actually go ahead and go one-on-one, or to help out Justin Houston against Gronk. Because, I mean, Gronk is probably the Patriot. Who am I kidding? He is the Patriots' best as target. I mean, and then you got Julian Edelman. You don't have Josh Gordon anymore, or he's suspended. And you got Chris Hogan and Philip Dorsett. So, honestly, my question... this is my question in terms of everything. Like I said, who's going to be defending who? Who's going to have a hard time defending the other team in terms of wide receivers, if that makes sense? And personally, in my opinion, like I said, I think it's going to be New England who has a hard time. But you also got to remember, this game is going to be in Kansas City. It's not in Foxborough. For once, we can actually say that. For once, we can say that a playoff game is not in Foxborough. And that's unusual for people to say during the AFC playoff picture, because New England usually hosts the game. So the question is like I said, Ed, how can I put it? Who do you turn around and, who's the better wide receiver matchup against the cornerbacks? Personally, I think it's going to come down to who has that extra guy. And honestly, I think the extra guy comes in Kansas City. Because you have Travis Kelce, again, I'll say it over and over again, who is a constant target for Patrick Mahomes. You got Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill, who both of them are probably two of the better wide receivers in the game in terms of speed. Tyreek Hill, again, another elite receiver. But the thing with Sammy Watkins is, in a sense, in my opinion, he's sort of like Brandon Cooks. You can slide him over at the slot receiver. And because Kansas City has so many targets, you can turn around and they'll forget about him and he'll get open. Like, that's the scary thing. That's how elusive he is. And throwing the fact that Sammy Watkins, a former Bill, kind of knows this Patriots defense. He faces them twice a year. He faced them twice a year when he was with Buffalo. So, honestly, I'm going to go ahead. In terms of New England against Kansas City, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with Kansas City on this one. I think that, Kansas City is definitely due for a Super Bowl appearance. I think that Andy Reid actually has a team that he can work with. And I think that another thing that I think Kansas City needs to do is I think they need to run the ball on New England a lot more, because Pittsburgh exposed it. You had plenty of teams this year. Tennessee exposed it with Derrick Henry. You had teams exposing the fact that they can't do that well against the run defense. And so, honestly, like I said, I'm going to go with the Chargers, or I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. So, then you got, in my opinion, the game of the week, in my opinion. And simply because of the fact these two teams faced off before as well, November 4th to be exact, and it was a showdown. It was a showdown that you had to see. I mean, it was so... This will be a little bit of a joke. It was so serious they actually had Coach Corso turn around and actually make a headgear selection. Now this one's probably going to be a little bit tougher for me to pick in terms of the teams, in terms of both Jared Goff off against Drew Brees. It's a young... both of these matchups are two young phenoms in Goff and Mahomes taking on two extremely... who am I kidding? I'll say it. Two of probably the greatest of all time in Drew Brees and Todd Gurley. And Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Now, in terms of the teams, honestly, I think it's well matched. I think it's... Honestly, who am I kidding? It's evenly matched. I mean, Brees against Goff. Brees, unbelievable quarterback, we already know. Goff having an unbelievable second year. I mean, both of them, except for yardage, you look at it, it goes to Goff in terms of yardage, but yet in terms of accuracy, it goes to Brees. And then you look at the running back matchup. I mean, this is a running back matchup, in a sense, it's people dream about. I mean, it's Todd Gurley, who, in my opinion, probably MVP this year. I mean, a lot of people will make the case for Mahomes. I'm going to make the case for Gurley. I mean, a power back who combines speed and power, like I said, and is unbelievable. Well, can maneuver throughout. Kamara can play both the wide receiver and the back. And it's interesting because, again, that's another, pound for pound matchup that you're going to have that's going to be interesting and to see in terms of, who's going to get open in open field because of that. And then you got the wide receiver matchup. I mean, guys, for Los Angeles is Robert Woods, Brandon and Cooks, Josh Reynolds, Tyler Higbee. All right? And then for New Orleans, Michael Thomas, unbelievable year this year. Traquan Smith. Benjamin Watson is questionable, but honestly, if we know NFL players, if they get a chance to play in the playoffs, they're playing. All right, Josh Hill at tight end, Austin Carr, Keith Kirkwood. Okay, these guys. All right, this team it's evenly matched. I mean, even on defense, 4-3 for New Orleans, and then it's a 3-4. So two completely different looks. But yet both offensive defensive lines are stacked. Or both defensive lines, I should say, just in general, are stacked. Cameron Jordan, and you got Cameron Jordan, and Tyler Davidson, and Alex Okafor, or again, three guys who have had an unbelievable year for New Orleans. And then you got Ndamukong Suh, Michael Brockers, there's Aaron Donald, for Los Angeles. And then you also throw in the left outside linebacker, who's, Samson, and I'm going to butcher this, Ibukum, I hope I said that right. At left outside linebacker, and then Dante Fowler Jr., who's the right outside linebacker. And then even cornerback matchups, Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, and Sam Shield for Los Angeles. And then New Orleans, it's Marshawn Lattimore, Eli Apple, who in my opinion was an absolute underrated pickup for New Orleans is when they got him from the Giants. I think it was an absolute underrated pick. The only reason I say it was underrated is simply because of the fact that everybody knew. Let's be real. Well, Eli wasn't going to be a number one string quarterback. Heck, he was going to be facing the number 2 wide receivers, and that's perfect because with New York, if I'm right, I'm pretty sure it was Janoris Jenkins who was running the 2. And Eli was running the 1. But Eli is better off against the 2 wide receivers. So really, it's going to be Eli Apple's speed going up against probably Brandon Cook's speed, and you're going to have, if I'm right, you're going to have Marshawn Lattimore taking on, it's going to be probably Robert Woods if I'm right. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. I mean, honestly, I think it might come down to a field goal. Honestly, the question is, who do you pick? Heck, a lot of people turn around, and I've been getting a lot of opinions for this game in particular. I've been getting a lot of opinions about it. It's saying, it's hard to beat the same team twice in a year. And I get that. It really is. It's probably one of the harder things to do. Then get, because you already faced that team once, so you kind of know the game plan. And it's like you can't really change it because you figure it's going to work again, but then the team that you beat is obviously going to be picking up as to what they did wrong and what they can improve on. But you also got to think it's also pretty hard to face the same team twice in 1 year and get them again at home in the playoffs in a different atmosphere, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that the atmosphere, when they faced off on the 4th, I think that atmosphere was unbelievable. I think it was, again, a similar rocking aspect. However, I think that you throw in the playoffs for this one, and you throw in the 2 teams. I mean, both teams 13-3. I mean, everybody turned around. They knew this matchup was coming in the NFC. Everybody knew this matchup was happening. As soon as the Rams and the Saints both made it in, the only question was if Chicago was to beat Philadelphia, would Los Angeles be able to turn around and handle Chicago again? And because Los Angeles had already lost to Chicago, so that was the main question. But that didn't happen. It wound up being a New Orleans-Philadelphia matchup, and it wound up being a Los Angeles-Dallas matchup, and both NFC East teams out the way. So, the question is, who who's going to take this one. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with New Orleans on this one. I'm going to go with New Orleans simply because of the fact that I think that Kamara is going to turn around. I think he's going to have an unbelievable game. Or, you know what? Forget that I just said that. Forget I just said that, because I think both Gurley and Kamara are going to have unbelievable games. Both of them. And however, when it comes to the receiving aspect, I think that Kamara has a better game. But when it comes down here, I'll put it to you like this. In terms of the running back matchup, I think that Kamara has the better game receiving. But I think Gurley, I think it's evenly matched when it comes to rushing, but I think Gurley gets a little bit of the upper hand, if you will. Well, wide receiver matchup, I think it's just going to be a case of like who can break free the most. And then for the quarterback matchup, I think it comes down to whoever has the ball last. And I think that if Drew Brees is the one that has the ball last in his hands, he's going to, Brees, we seem to forget, Brees is 40 years old. Well, this is not his first year in the NFL. So the question is, and he was drafted back in 2001, so pretty much put it in perspective, if pretty much, if I'm right, I think 18 years maybe, if I'm right, 18 years, right, 2001 to 2018, 2019, yeah, pretty much, we'll just say 18 years, or yeah, 18 or 17, something like that, shows you my math skills, alright folks, nonetheless, as I think that Brees, over the years, he's shown that he can do it. He's shown that he can strive under pressure, and I think that Brees can turn around. And I think that if Brees gets the ball last, then Drew Brees is definitely gonna make something happen. So I'm gonna go with New Orleans on that one. So pretty much, and it would set up and pretty much in other words, that sets up for me. It sets up a New Orleans, Kansas City, Super Bowl. So. And who do I got in that? Honestly, I'll let you know. I'll let you know when the Super Bowl comes around, because honestly, I don't want to pick anything just yet. Because I want to make sure the matchup actually happens. Because for all I know, it could be a Kansas City, Los Angeles Super Bowl. Alright? You never know. So, this is just my opinion. I just really hope that New England doesn't make it in. The only reason, simply because of the fact that, how can I put it? The reason I don't want New England to make it in, honestly, I'll say it before I'll say it again. I'd rather have Pittsburgh get their 7th win first, and then have Pittsburgh, or what's their names? Have Dallas or whoever has 6 or 5 rings right now get their 6th. So that's just me. So, all right. Hey, so I'm gonna go ahead real quick, guys. I'm gonna turn it over to let's say 2 songs real quick. Yeah, that sounds good. 2 songs real quick. Gonna turn it over to that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump into both a little bit of basketball and a little bit of baseball. Gonna combine them into 2 segments. So, guys, make sure you keep it locked here, guys. You are listening to WKCV, the voice of Keystone College. Woo! First show back feels good. Lost Profit, baby. I gotta Imagine Dragons. Yeah, I'll go with Lost Profit. Why not? Rooftops. Gives me a little bit to set up for both. What's up, guys? What is up? Yeah, no problem, Graham. No problem. No problem. But you didn't stay that long. Who else? Steelers were never. Jokes. Y'all got jokes. Y'all got jokes. That's fine. That's fine. Steelers will make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. Take him out, take him out, take him out, take him out. Take him out, take him out, take him out, take him out! Take him out! I'll explain that in a little bit. What's the daisy? 2, 1. Good at this game. MLB season tracker. Thank you. Thank you, the score. Who's calling? Yeah. Yeah. Let's knock this out. 2, 1. Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College, is back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to What Else here on Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College. Guys, it is Sports Talks. Guys, it is JT checking in once again with you. And guys, at the top of the year, when I said that a lot has happened in terms of whether it's baseball or basketball or football, whatever it may be, a lot has happened. And really, honestly, let me go ahead and let me start out in the NBA. Let's start out over there because I feel like this is the most obvious thing to point out. All right, all of the NBA is about to change. The reason I say that is simply because of the fact that, for those of you who don't know, DeMarcus Cousins actually signed the mid-level exception with the Golden State Warriors this past off-season. And now, if you don't know what the mid-level exception is, it's pretty much, a one-year deal worth like $2.9 million. It depends on the player. It depends on how much. Cousins pretty much, he signed for $2.9 million. He's coming off of a tear, or it was an ACL tear or PCL tear, something like that. It was a tear in one of the ACLs. Well, nonetheless, backtracking. But he's been out ever since, and his return date is, let's see, looking at the calendar, tomorrow. It's pretty much tomorrow, and the first game he's going to be facing is against, it's not going to be a tough team at all. It's going to be Los Angeles. It's going to be the Clippers. Now, looking forward for Golden State in terms of their next couple games. Now, for Golden State, I think that, the Clippers and Cousins being the first target is going to be interesting to see. But then you turn around and they got the Lakers next, which I think might be a little bit of a test, pending if LeBron is back. Pending again. And then you got Washington, Boston, Indiana, Philadelphia, and then Los Angeles again in terms of the Lakers, and you also got San Antonio. Oh, now those three games, 76ers, Lakers, and Spurs, all three of those are going to be at home. However, if I'm the Lakers right now, I am going to I am watching that game between the Warriors and the Clippers. Simply because of the fact that I don't trust anything. I don't trust what's going to be happening. Because obviously, everybody who's going to start, all right? Cousins is going to start. Let's not get that wrong. The starting five is going to be this. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, DeMarcus Cousins. And if you don't know who any of those five names, those are probably five of the top five guys in their position. All right, Curry, top 5 point guard. Klay, top 3 shooting guard. I'll put him there. Top 3. Durant, top 2 small forward. All right, Draymond, top 5, top 6. You can debate it because of his height. He's 6'7" for a power forward, which is short. Nonetheless, Draymond. On top 5, top 6 power forward in the league. And then you got DeMarcus Cousins, who needs to prove himself, and he's going to, and he's probably a top 4, top 5 center in the NBA still. So it's going to be interesting to see, because once Cousins comes back, this team doesn't really have a weakness. And it's the same thing for the bench, because you still have Iggy coming off the bench. You have Jordan Bell coming off the bench. You have guys like Kevin Looney, Sean Livingston still coming off the bench for this team. This team is going to be a problem. And really, like I said, if you're any team going forward, again, whether it's Los Angeles, Washington, Boston, I think that, honestly, if LeBron plays that Lakers game, that's going to be the first test, I think. However, if he doesn't, then that Boston game, that Saturday, January 26th, that game is going to be the game that tests this lineup. Simply because of the fact that Curry can't, Curry can't defend Kyrie. Okay? Durant against Hayward is a mismatch. All right? Horford is going to have to defend he's either going to be defended by Cousins or he's going to be defended by Draymond. And then you turn around and it's Jason Tatum as well. So, who knows? Personally, Tatum could probably take Draymond. And then 2-guard matchup for Boston. I think it would be who would it be for Boston? I think it's, if I'm right, I think it's Marcus Smart, maybe? That's a guess. It might be Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier, could be one of those guys. I'm not too sure. Or Jaylen Brown, probably. Nonetheless, like I said, this team, when the Warriors get to full health, it's going to be interesting to see he come forward. Honestly, I want to see how it goes out, because New Orleans definitely kept it close last night. Last night against them. I think it was 147 to 140 in terms of Golden State. So, you got that. And then you look at, but nonetheless, so that's pretty much that's gonna seal it up. So you got, and Golden State, wouldn't be surprised to me if Golden State turns around and keeps that 1 seed. So it's gonna be Golden State, Denver, Oklahoma City, OKC, Portland, Houston, and that's the top 5, and then San Antonio, Los Angeles, Utah, and that's 8. And the my bad, excuse me. And then it's going to be the Lakers, who are the 9 seed. So LeBron's out of the playoffs right now, but LeBron hasn't been playing. So, if LeBron doesn't make it, then man, and allergies today, man, allergies. It's winter, and I have allergies. Nonetheless, as I know I say that a lot, I don't care. Nonetheless, I think that LeBron comes back, and I think he definitely takes over. I think that out of the teams that are there, I don't think that the Clippers make it. I don't think that they're going to make it. But nonetheless, and then can we just talk about how wide open the East is real quick? Because LeBron's not there. Because the Cavs aren't in the playoffs. Like, they're not even close. They're 23 and a half games back, all right? They're doing worse than the Knicks. Okay? And that's saying something if the Knicks aren't doing good. Okay? Or if the Knicks are doing better than you. That says something. Okay? Because the Knicks don't even have Porzingis. More or less, they didn't even have cancer today. So, yeah. Nonetheless, as right now for the Eastern Conference, it's open season in a sense, because the top 4 teams are within 3.5 games. It's Milwaukee, Toronto, Indiana, Philadelphia, Boston, Miami, Brooklyn, and Charlotte. And yes, I just said the Brooklyn Nets. And honestly, I was trying to figure, I knew I had my show today, and I was trying to figure out all week as to why they were doing so well. Honestly, I put 2 people together as to why they were doing so well. D'Angelo Russell, Jared Allen. That's it. That's the only reason Brooklyn could be doing good right now. But then again, there could be other reasons. I mean, he could, hang on, who's below them? Charlotte, Kemba Walker, the only one really on that team. Orlando, don't really, Washington, no John Wall. Atlanta, too young still. Same thing with Chicago. New York just sucks. And then Cleveland is just, Cleveland. And without LeBron, so, yeah. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Hang on. Are all 3 division leaders still there? Yep, all 3 division leaders are in the playoffs, from what I saw. But nonetheless, here, I'll just go ahead. I'll go over the top 5 teams, or the top 8 teams. I think I already did, but I'll just go over them again just to be safe. Again, it's Milwaukee, Toronto, Indiana, that's 1, 2, 3. Philadelphia, Boston, Miami, Brooklyn, Charlotte. That's 1 through 8. Honestly, that just shows you how wide open this Eastern Conference is, because LeBron's not there anymore. And really, I guess you could say that LeBron really did make the Cavs. So, yeah. Honestly, the question I have is, who's going to take the East? And honestly, in my opinion, if I'm looking at it, I gotta go with Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's definitely going to take the 1 seed. However, who makes it into the Eastern Conference Finals? I got to go with Boston or Philadelphia. Actually, hang on, let me rephrase that. I got to go with I got to go with the 3 Eastern Conference teams in the Atlantic Division that make it. So, Toronto, Philadelphia, or Boston. One of those 3 makes it. I don't think that Milwaukee makes it just yet. But I think that, Boston and company, I think that they can definitely make it in. I think that, Philadelphia, I think, is probably one of the main teams that could probably keep with Golden State. Because, like, no offense, I think that if I have to make a guess, I think that Golden State's probably the team that makes it in terms of, the playoffs for the Western Conference. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with Golden State making it in. And so I think that probably Philadelphia is probably going to be the team that challenges Golden State or even, Boston. But really, I just got to see how teams match up against Golden State when Cousins returns. Because honestly, in my opinion, I think that once Cousins returns from injury, once he returns tomorrow and he starts getting back in the swing of everything, I think that, it's going to cause a lot of problems for teams in the NBA, for teams, going forward. Right. And this is, and real quick, I just got to rant about something real quick. So real quick, so I was checking out the NBA and I was looking at the All-Star ballots. If you can believe this, DeMarcus Cousins, and this is sometimes why people don't put, why fans don't vote or why they took it away. DeMarcus Cousins is voted 10th in terms of the front court. And he hasn't even played a game. Everybody just wants to have the Golden State Warriors 5 on the front court. Like, stop. Stop, for real. Okay? The guy hasn't even played. Just because he's on a team and just because you want to hop on a bandwagon doesn't mean anything. Okay? It doesn't. It doesn't mean he's an all-star. Just because he's on a team doesn't mean anything. Okay? Look at baseball. They have to pick at least one guy from every team. All right? Just to represent a team in the AL or the NL in terms of baseball, in terms of an all-star game. Okay? Basketball, you can only have 13 players on a team. So, you don't have a choice. So, if you have 4 guys on a roster, or 4 guys from one team making up something, it really, it takes the cake for some people. Well, and really, again, it's how can I put it? It's a joke in a sense, but nonetheless, as I'm going to go ahead and real quick, guys, I just want to go ahead and I want to touch on something real quick. I do want to touch on 2 free agents that a lot of people have been asking me about, who I think, or where I think that they could possibly land. And now, if you don't know who I'm talking about, it is baseball. It is Machado and Harper. Now, the first thing that everybody's wondering, where do I think Machado's going to go? Now, a lot of people are saying that he should still go to New York. No. That infield is loaded right now. They just signed Tulo. Oh, Tulo's probably going to come off the bench, to be honest with you. It's a 1-year deal, so he's probably coming off the bench. And they just signed LeMahieu. LeMahieu's probably going to play second. Obviously, Torres is going to play short. And Andujar's probably going to be over at third base, if I'm right, because a lot of people are saying that, they're going to trade Andujar. They have to trade Andujar, and Torres is going to play third base. Tulo's going to play second, or Tulo's going to play shortstop. No, it's not going to go like that because Tulo's been hurt as of the past couple of years, so he has to honestly prove that he can be an everyday guy. So really, the way I'm looking at it is this: I think that if you're Tulowitzki, I think that if you're pretty much it's the Yankees in any aspect, really. I think that, you don't trade Andujar. Like, field offers for the guy, yes, but don't trade him. Simply because of the fact that, again, Torres and Andujar, 2 guys who just finished second and third, honestly should have been first and second in my opinion. But, hey, new sensation comes over from Japan. What do you want me to say? Hey, guys, we got a new guy from Japan, and he's all the hype. Oh, by the way, he's going to miss a couple of games because he's hurt. Yep, gotcha. And it might require Tommy John. Key term right there. Yep. By the way, and he's going to DH the rest of the year. So, yeah, no big deal. Don't worry. But he's good. Trust me. He's good. He can throw 100. Because we haven't seen that in the MLB before. Nope, never, right? Again, another rant, that's over. Okay, done with that. So, about not trading Andujar. I don't think the Yankees should trade Andujar. All right, now in terms of where Machado's going to sign, I honestly think he's going to go to the White Sox. And this is going to be crazy for some people. This is going to be really crazy, all right? Listen close. Because this is why I think Machado's going to be signing with the White Sox, okay? It's going to sound stupid, but at the same time, it's going to make sense. I think he's going to sign with the White Sox because they're the only one that's offered him a contract. Nobody else has reportedly offered him a contract. The White Sox have been the only one that offers him a contract worth 7 years and however much he wants. All right, he wants to get paid Giancarlo Stanton money. and call me a troll if you want. Go for it. Call me a troll. However, this is going to make sense. To make the money that Stanton makes, you have to do this thing. It's kind of called, it starts with a H. It starts with an H and rhymes with bustle. Yep, you know what you have to do? You have to hustle in order to make that money. All right? How do you think Stanton got it? Oh, he hit he averaged about a home run per at bat. All right, the guy hit 57 home runs and he won the NL MVP. That's earning it. Machado hasn't won even a World Series ring. He's won a pennant a couple times. Who am I kidding? He won a pennant last year, but then... All right, nonetheless, I don't think, like I said, I don't think that Machado's going to sign, could he sign with Philadelphia? Possibly. But really, I think that as Chicago really wants to make a push for Machado, and really, obviously, Chicago, not a big target team or not a big market city. The Cubs are, and you never thought you'd say that really, but honestly, I think that Machado's probably going to go to the Phillies. Or, no, not the Phillies. I think he's going to the White Sox simply because I don't know what because the Phillies have a lot of plans. I don't know if you've heard. I think the Phillies have a lot of plans. And in terms of signing, because they're looking at Kimbrel. They can't sign Ottavino anymore, because he just signed with the Yankees. And then you also got Kluber, or Keuchel, I should say. Keuchel has been rumored, and actually, no, Kluber has been rumored to be traded there a couple times in terms of Cleveland. So you got that going for you. Now, the next question is, who signs Harper? All right, say Chicago signs Harper. Say Chicago signs Machado. Who signs Harper? Now, a lot of people, I've been hearing this, and I've been hearing this too much. They're saying that, New York has spent too much money. There is no chance that they can sign Harper. Do you not know which team you are talking about? Or you are talking about the evil empire. You're talking about a team that will trade guys just to get the money. You're talking about a team that is willing to go over the luxury tax. Okay? And here's the crazy thing. If I'm right, guys like Judge, Sevy, Sanchez, as Betances, a lot of these guys are still either on arbitration or they're on their rookie deals. So these guys that they could be getting are cheap. And trust me, they would have the eligibility to sign them long term within the 6 years. Okay? They have time. And they probably will. If we know Cashman, he will sign Judge in a heartbeat to a long-term deal. Well, if we know Cashman, he'll probably sign Sanchez. As a lot of people are saying, don't sign Sanchez. Keep in mind, folks, Sanchez didn't play that many games, okay? Hey, he was hurt. Yes, he's a defensive liability. I understand that. But I'll put it to you like this. I don't want Romine behind the dish. Okay? I don't want him behind the dish. Why? Simple. Romine, and I know this takes a lot to say, but Romine is confused when he's behind the dish. Okay? He looks over for signs. All right? Boone is a third baseman, so he can't really be giving signs from the dugout, but nonetheless, still. But I think that Harper can and probably will sign with New York, simply because of the fact that, and this is my reason why I think that he's going to sign with New York, and I think that New York's going to make a major push for him. Don't get me wrong. I think Philadelphia is going to make a big push, but as soon as Harper gets an offer from the Yankees, I think he's going to take it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that he signs with the Yankees. Why do I say he signs with the Yankees? He's simply because of the fact that they didn't re-sign McCutchen. If they re-sign McCutchen, then hands down, they bring him back. Or if they sign McCutchen, and they're going to aim for Machado. But they didn't re-sign McCutchen. So, honestly, Harper's probably going to go to New York. That's my opinion. So, plus that, you got to remember. You got to hear Harper and Machado. They both wanted to go to New York. But I think that if New York has to pick between the two, I think they're going to go with Harper. Simply because I think the outfield, is more of a need that they have. Because Gardner will have no problem coming off the bench. And it's the same thing with what's the name? Gardner has no problem coming off the bench. Same thing with what's his name? Same thing with, if I'm losing track. Oh, same thing with Tulowitzki. All right, he has no problems coming out the bench. So, all right, guys. So that's gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kill it short, or a couple minutes short. So, all right, guys. So, oh, thank you guys so much for listening. Like I said, killing it short tonight simply because of the fact that kind of got what I needed to get done. I kind of said what I had to say, and yeah, that's kind of how it rolls around here. I mean, you get done early, and then, you know, you're done. All right, nonetheless, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. And thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. Guys, I love you all. Thank you guys so much for listening. And guys, have a great rest of the day. If I don't hear from y'all, if I don't see y'all, take it easy, and I will talk to you guys later. All right? Deuces. I got the there. There we go. All right, my guys and gals. I was on Facebook and YouTube. Done for the night. Thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it, guys.